Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. I arrived a bit late tonight. I know. I know. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. And welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we are. Here we are. So, there seems to be a few issues with the compendium, but it may be just a cache, so let's see if deleting the cache should fix the issue. I think it does, but let's see. So we have a new compendium update out where you can do additional stuff with the actual creatures in the game and you can discover some information about them and such. Okay. Pam 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 para pam. You have a long streak, eh? Long streak, Ula. Very nice. Very nice. Pararararararam. Pararararam. Pa 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 param. Pa 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 pam. Okay. So I would like to have the dungeons with different loot in the last room, and at the moment we cannot because it's based on the loot quality. So we need to find a solution. I have to understand when we are saving the dungeon, where is actually that save going, and can we add a new attribute, which is my dungeon save game. Yeah, I think the only problem is that this will invalidate the current dungeons, right? I think. I mean, we can regenerate them. It's not a big deal. By the way, is this dungeon save game defined? Yeah, it is. It is defined in C++, which is very nice. So in theory for us, right, the only work needed would be to add a new parameter here, which is the loot ID, right? Which is the loot ID. That at the moment we don't have, right? We don't have. So we could add a loot ID here, then on save it will be saved, but the problem is that when is this thing called, by the way? Never? No, 2 times. Yeah, is on the creation and on the deletion that we are saving again all the because I don't really have a dungeon entry in the database, right? So the dungeon basically leaves only in this save game, right? We decided to do it this way because the structure was too complex and it was like recursing inner structure, right? So would have been annoying to save it in the database. I mean, it would be possible for sure, no problem, but maybe not that simple. And now, so the advantage is that we can save, reload, and change. Now the only problem of this approach now is that if I want to add a new attribute, right, my save game file, I think it would not be correct anymore. So I think we can ask. In Unreal Engine, I have how do you call it? A serialized object? No, a save game. I think it's child of usave game, right? I have an object. I have a class. I have a class derived from uSave game, right? And it is saved to disk with what? With this. It already contains data, and well, let's say its definition. Its definition is a struct, right? Well, it's an array of dungeon properties. Let me just do this. Its definition is this, right? Its definition is this. I have the need. I have the need to update the structure adding one parameter, right? I have the need to have the structure adding one parameter. Is there a way to salvage the existing data which is already saved on disk and just add this new parameter to it? I think his answers will be yes. You just load it up, right? Well, but I don't know, because if you load it up with an additional parameter that was not there in the structure before, does it still load, right? That is something I don't know. I mean, we can regenerate the dungeons, it's not a big deal. Hello, Ned. Hey. The Mega Grant. I think I removed it long time ago when when I needed more space on the screen. But yeah, it's a good point, Ulla. I can put it back. Also, why are the stairs all fucked up? Why are the stairs all wrong? Maybe now they are better. Yeah. Yes, adding a new property to have dungeon properties is normally backward compatible. Unreal serialized reflected properties using property tags including their name. When loading the older save, property present the file restore. When new re-added property does not exist, property order file does not matter. Okay. Okay, so it's basically saying that we can the loading is the loading will basically load that empty, and then we can save it again. Okay. Yeah, change that are less safe, renaming existing property, changing its type, renaming or substantially changing, replacing a reflected new property, implementing custom, yeah. So for a simple additional parameter, provide a sensible default, load existing save normally, then resave it. Existing dungeon data should remain intact. Okay, well, that's good news. That's a good news. So we can extend this, right? We can extend this, and this will still load the dungeons, right? I mean, we can test it because we have think we have a property, no? In default server config. I think we will go with no NPC. 1 second. And maybe we can go dummy. Yeah, load generated dungeon true. I think we should have let me see if we have that somewhere. Now the problem will be how to set it, right? Yeah, that will remain an issue until we change the UI. Let me see if we have under saves, save games, generated dungeons. Yes, we have something. We have something. I don't know what, but we have something generated. Yeah, so let's start it like this, and let me just see if we get the dungeons loaded. I mean, obviously yes, but just to see how they look. So I just need to add the loot ID basically. It should be loading up. Any character will do. Okay, let's see what is the, well, I think it's enough if, well, I think it's probably better if we teleport there just to see it, but teleport locations, generated dungeon. So if we jump here, there should be a dungeon, hopefully. Yes, there is. Still loading the textures, but I see. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so now what we have to do, right? We have to say, oh, this is our dungeon today, but we need to add a new property, right? That is the loot ID. We don't want to do it anymore with the loot quality. I think is, yeah, I think we have to think about a second though. What happens? Oh, we could actually repurpose that. We could actually repurpose that to be our ID. Even if I think that this loot quality is also driving the furniture loot quality. No? Yeah, you see that he's actually used is actually used also in the definition of the furniture loot. Yeah. So basically, if you have a loot quality that is very low, you will also have little furniture. Is used only for the furniture, or is yeah, it's used only for the furniture pretty much, because then we split 1 to 5, 6 to 10. By the way, hello everyone, thank you for joining. Hello, hello. So, okay, so we have two options, right? One option is to use the loot quality that we have at the moment, a field that we already have, to drive the main loot room loot ID, right? And but we lose the ability to use this loot quality for the other loot that you find in the dungeon, right? Even if, you know, this setting has always been a bit weird, because in theory the loot quality should be based on the difficulty, right? So whenever I create a dungeon, I usually keep those two numbers identical. So when I create a dungeon, I mean, it's very unlikely that I say difficulty 7, right, and loot quality 1, right? So, I mean, it would make no sense. So in reality, I mean, I cannot split the loot quality just, you know, to be a bit fancy. But if we use the difficulty as the main input for the loot quality, I think that's a good enough assumption. Because I think you never want a situation like this, right? And if we do this, we can repurpose the current loot quality to be our loot ID. Obviously, we will have to regenerate the dungeons though, because that number will be, but then we will have it functional, right? We will have it functional, which is very nice, without with way less changes. Well, I mean, I have to change a bunch of stuff here, but I think we will do it this way. So basically, I just have to be sure that when let me see if the NPC is also taking a loot quality. Yeah, but it's not used, huh? Yeah, exactly. That would have been weird. So I think it is the main loot, huh? That is the main loot, yes. Okay, so the plan is to use loot quality as the loot ID. But then how do we pass it to the ant location, right? Because the ant location is so if we use the same trick, so is there a better way? I don't know if there is a better. Is there a better way? Is there a better way? Is there a better way? So at the moment, basically what happens is that we have the dungeon, right? And at the end of the dungeon. The end of the dungeon, right? Well, no. The end of the dungeon, we have the chest, right? In the chest, oops, whatever. And the chest is okay, bad idea. I wanted to have the lid the same color, but anyway, the chest, yeah, something like that. Is so the dungeon knows the loot ID, but the chest does not know the loot ID, right? And we generate the loot only when we open the chest. So, or because we set it as a parameter on the chest, can we have So one idea was, oh, use the param vector, but that was only on interactable. The chest is not an interactable. The chest is an item stat, and well, is an item stat. And in item stats, I don't think I have any spare value to use. I mean, in theory, I could put it on flags. Wait a second. Item instance. I could put it on flags, but it will be just a number. Nah, that's a bad idea. I mean, we have the trap properties. We have the extra properties for an object that are listed under. But it's only for interactable, right? Item interactable. Yeah. So basically at the moment I'm struggling to understand where this data should be stored. I can use the same trick of the quality for now. I think it's probably the easiest. The problem is that when you pick up the chest, you will see very weird quality numbers, right? You will see like 51 or 120 or whatever, you know, very weird numbers. And because they will correspond to the loot ID. But probably as a first pass, that's the easiest I can do. So I use the same trick. Because under item instances, I don't think I have anything else that I can use. Let me check, but I don't think I have anything else that I can use that actually is meaningful as a loot ID. Yes, I have flags, right? But flags are just keywords. I cannot say quality equal 101, right? I just have, they are just made of, they're just keywords. So I mean, I could use charges, for example, right? I could use charges that we don't use for anything, but it's pretty much the same as using the quality, right? Probably the quality is even more meaningful because it expresses how much, you know, how much you have there. Okay. Ah, this thing is still here. Cyrodiil, a silverly fluid harvested from the hollow core of a desert cacti that clustered low among the dunes. I see. He's here next to me. And he's producing this. Okay, so I think we will use the quality. I think we will do this. We will use the quality as we do now, but we will put it in using the loot quality we have in the UI at the moment. So in other words, this loot quality is still valid, but we have to change two things. We have to change the how the furniture is placed in the room, right? Because this loot quality should not be used anymore, and we use the difficulty instead, right? right? This in theory should not be used anymore now. Why still? Because it's here as well. Okay, now it's not used anymore. Okay, so we swapped the loot, the furniture loot quality to be equal to the difficulty, which I think anyway makes sense. So this was the first change we had to do. The second change we have to do is in the main loot. Is in the main loot, because instead of doing the stupid trick, which is this one, yeah, this is really not because our loot anyway will be any number, right? So it will be a random number pretty much. Loot rules. Loot rules can be, yeah, can be from 1 at the moment. At the moment, it can be from 1 to 112, right? Can be anything between that. So I would say. So I would say that this becomes directly this, and we delete all of this, and we just say quality to pass to the script will generate the loot. The quality is the loot ID in loot rules. Is, let's say, loot rules.id. Yeah, is loot rules ID. Well, corresponds. So we do that. We put it like this. Now, the only problem is when we run the script, right? When we run the, so in theory the change is very simple. The change is super simple. Hello guys, why we have 17 people today? Oh, finally, someone is watching. Ah, immediately 16. No. Yeah, we have like 11 on YouTube and 5 on Twitch. Hello, hello. Good to have you here, guys. So I'm not developing this thing completely alone, you know? Right. Okay, so the other thing we have to do after this, well, this one can be hard-coded, is fine. I don't care about this hard-coding at the moment. It's always the same chest, but it has different content, right? Because it's based on the quality. So what happens when you pick up the chest? When you pick up the chest, we run a progression script, which is exactly this one, right? treasure chest random loot. And this guy, and we have to change this guy because now the quality equals to the loot rule. So basically this script needs to become we want to use only 2 rule for now? No. The script becomes the quality, exactly what I said here. The quality corresponds to the loot rules ID, right? So wait a second though. Why we pass also the loot quality to the loot script? So we should have a loot operation, right? We should have a loot operation. And loot operation load is getting only the type. No, wait, it's not this. Is not this. Should be a loot OP. Loot OP. No, not this. No. How is it called? Loot set OP. Okay, GG. Loot set OP. Okay. Loot quality 1. Loot quality goes from 1 to 10, influence the quality of the loot you get. 5 is the default value. And loot ID. Loot quality. Check if we got explicit ID or a string. Yeah, because I think that this thing can work with both, right? The script can work with both elements. Hello, Sulfrots. I don't know if I said hello already. I don't remember. But hello anyway. No, because I don't want to break it for other stuff, right? I don't want to break it for other stuff. Are we? Let me do this. Let me search loot in the scripts. This character is probably not considered valid, which is a problem. No, sorry. Event script, yeah. Yes, it's used also on other... but you see that here we use only loot ID, right? We use loot ID, loot ID. So I don't understand exactly why we passed the loot quality here. I think is unnecessary. We can just pass the loot ID. Yes, I think so. So let's remove it so we don't get confused. So my quality, I don't care about this quality. The only thing that I care about my loot rule, and my loot rule equals to in my loot rule equals to item get max item quality. So like this, right? And then we just pass loot rule to loot rule ID. So we have to change this formula pretty much to be this, right? And we can record it so we can do it in production later on. I don't know if this update I copied like this will actually be correct. Thing like this, it looks a bit weird. Huh? I don't know. I think it should probably be like this, but bitty bling. Doesn't like it this way, huh? Why? I think it's the same, but it's not. I think it because he has the carriage returns, and so he doesn't like it. If I put it in a script, it will probably work, but if I do it like this, it doesn't. Right? Because we also have the quotes. It's for the quotes, yeah. It's for the quotes. No! Can I do it this way? Yes. Very nice. And so if I look at it now, how does it look? Identical. Okay, nice. It's correct, right? Let me try to destroy it 1 second. No! Yes. Yes, yes, it works. Okay, so we can use that query to update production as we need it. So update dungeon chest loot. Okay. Dungeon chest to use loot ID, pretty much. Okay. Okay, so now that we have that, and we have this, Okay. 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 Very nice. Okay, with this in mind, so loot rule will be empty, right? Yes. Okay, I think we can recompile and see what happens already, because pretty much this is what it should do. That is what it should do, my boys. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hey. How's it going today? By the way, today I finished the Claude credits, you know, the usual 5 hours cooldown, and I tried to go over the limit with the credits, right? And it was very costly, because I can show you the picture. So he asked me how much I wanted to put in as extra credits, and I said $20, right? So I put $20 in, and I put $20 in. Consider that the monthly fee is $20 pretty much, right? So basically I put in a full month fee in addition to the fee that I was already paying, right? And then I did how much? I think I did like 3 or 4 questions, right? 3 or 4 questions, and those questions generated about let me see, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 80. Generated 80 lines of code in those different 4 questions, right? And it consumed $13.74 for 4 questions and 80 lines of code, which is extremely high, right? I mean, if you consider that the monthly is 20, right, and you can get plenty of usage, right? I mean, it's true that my context window was very heavy at that point, and it is exactly why I used the extra credit, because I wanted to continue on the same reasoning, right? And so but I don't know if that boosted it, but basically, like, the first question went like to $2.50, then the second question and the third question it went like to $8, and then the last question brought it to $13.74, right? So but I would say this way is fairly expensive, right? Because you can burn money very quickly, right? Maybe it's what they hope for, right? Maybe they opt for that. I understand. I mean, they are a company at the end, trying to make money. I understand that. But to me, it's not worth it, right? I mean, you can just wait your 2 or 3 hours, and then whatever is needed to wait, and then you right? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so did you recompile? Yes, it recompiled. Okay, so now we will try to change the dungeon. I think I have to... I mean, I cannot change the dungeon. I have to regenerate the dungeon, right? So we will start... So now it's recompiled. We will restart it. And we will regenerate one of the dungeons. Which I don't know if it's the first one, but anyway. I think we have the desert entrance that we can use. We are getting a good amount of people on YouTube. What is going on? 15 people on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Bum ba bum ba bum bum bum. Okay, here we are in the procedurally generated dungeon. Right? And there is the return portal, and if I want I can go in. So at the moment my loot, right, is generated the old way, right? Well actually, wait a second. Actually the loot will be generated, yeah, it's generated the old way. But if the ID is a valid ID, it will work already. Ah, wait a second. So maybe we can test it even without regenerating the dungeon. Let me just jump out of the dungeon 1 second, because I need to understand where is the loot room. The loot room is down there, so let's go directly. Hello Jens, when did you get a Mega Grant? Ah, it was a long time ago. I don't even remember. 4 years ago? It was just not present on stream because I forgot to turn it on. Okay, there is the main loot. There is the main loot, right? So in theory this chest, yes, has quality 5, you see? Yeah. So he actually, when he generated with the new code, he has set the quality equal to 5, which actually in our dummy database maybe even corresponds to something. If you want to know when we got the Mega Grant, you can go to our website, click on previous news, and I don't know, try 2023 or 2022. I don't know. For sure I advertised it, but it was long time ago. Maybe it was even 2021. I don't know. 2020? Oh my god, time is flying. Probably not. Probably I didn't put it in the news then. Strange. I did not put it in the news. I think anyway it was between 22, 23. I think it was around that time. Strange that we didn't have a news on it. Strange. Maybe I put it on the forums or whatever. I don't know. It's not there. But yeah, they gave us some money. Now, you know, I think the recognition was very nice. The money was good as well because we could use it for commissions. But obviously, you know, to make an MMO, you need millions, right? So if he give you just a bit, I mean, it's not really doing much. But I'm really thankful that they gave it to us. Really, I mean, it was great. But obviously, the grant was not to like go and finish your MMO, right? It was more of a support for the project, an endorsement, right? An endorsement for the project, which is fantastic. Actually, I should apply again. But I should apply again. You can apply multiple times. I think I applied the year after and we got refused. I mean refused, not selected, right? They have a number off. They cannot, you know, give it to everyone, obviously. Yeah, unfortunately number 5 is not a number, but you know what? We will change it to 82 because we can. And we will see what happens with oops, 82 is not there. Here it is. 82 is here. I don't know what it's giving. Maybe it's giving a torch. I think it's giving a torch. Can we go with... Now let's go with rule number 2. Okay. He also has some money. With rule number 2, he also has some money. Let me just move all my items at the bottom so that we see when we get something. In theory, should go in the let me delete a bunch of stuff here. I have some useless stuff in my inventory. Okay. Okay, let's change the quality to 2 and right now it's 2 and we have to unlock it and we can open it. It didn't work. You open the chest and you find minus 480. What the fuck? Ah, because I changed. No, because I changed the. Yeah, I think I changed the. Yeah. I changed the script in the production copy and not in the dummy copy. Yeah, for sure. So he's still doing the old calculation, dividing by 10 and. Okay, so I think we can just disconnect here. And re-execute this in our dummy database. In our dummy, yes. And then if we restart the server now, yeah, but I think it's working, guys. I think pretty much it is working. Yeah, you can apply again. There are certain windows though, and I always miss the windows because I never, you know, I only think to it sometimes. But there are windows that you have to respect. So now, for example, the next cycle, right, is June. So that is the page if you want to apply for your games as well, whatever. The next cycle is between January and June 19, but the window of submission is between January and March, right? And then there is a second cycle between June and September. So in theory now there should be the 2025, right? The 2025, sorry, the 2026. I mean, not the 2027. So this one in theory now is open. You see, June 19, December 11. So the between June 29, sorry, I just said 19, yeah, 29 and September 4, it is open. So in theory, it's open now, right? So if I should, I mean, if you want to apply, we have to apply now. I think I should do it. It's so many years I don't do it. The problem is that to apply, you need to justify the cost that you are asking. So you have to justify the grant, and the hardest question, right? The hardest question is, let me see if they changed it or not. Is your project a real engine? The project is open source or not? Does it give back to the 3D community? Describe your project detail below, blah blah blah. Exactly, funding, right? You see here, so you have a funding window, and there is the hard question. When I applied, this was not there, right? This was not part of the questionnaire. So they were basically deciding how much to give you by themselves, right? But now you have to ask for a specific value, which for me is very hard to ask, right? Because basically they are saying what value you need to complete your project, right? For us it's impossible. But anyway, so from 5,000 to 25,000, 25, 50, 50, 100, 100, 150. And then you have to break down the budget by item, by line item, right? To say like, oh, I'm gonna use $1,000 for this. I will commission for another $1,000, you know, the upgrade of this system to this guy, right? So you really need to break it down, and I think it's something that I can do, but it's not very easy, right? It's not very, I mean, it's not, I don't know, I have to think about it, because all the stuff that I need mostly is well, for example, I would like to upgrade the character, the combat system, right? I would like to completely redo the combat system, and that would be very nice to have, right? Like a modern game, but I think that is gonna cost a lot. But how much is gonna cost, right? It's gonna cost 1K, it's gonna cost 5K, it's gonna cost 20K, I have no idea. Maybe I can ask someone, you know, to how much it's gonna cost, and then before the commission, and then apply for the mega grant. If the mega grant happens, then the commission starts. If not, it doesn't. Maybe that's one way. Well, I can say that, but I don't think they will grant it, unfortunately. Okay, so here we have our loot, right? Here we have our loot. So if we change it back to 2 and 2, and we unlock it, and then we open it, what the hell? The server crashed. The server crashed. Easy life. Server crashed. Loot set operation run scripting for 463. 4463 loot quality expression evaluate. So it looks like the fact that loot quality doesn't even exist is bothering him. Yeah, I think he crashed for that. I think he crashed. Yeah, but sorry, but loot rule is equal to null pointer, right? So how it is possible? How it is possible that he crashed on that line, my boys? Considering we entered there only if loot rule is valid, right? So we crashed here because the game thought that the loot rule was valid. This means that the loot ID number were equal to 0. So it means that it didn't read any it didn't read our loot ID pretty much. Or anyway, we can debug it, but there is something weird going on here. Because my wait. I did a change in production also for this script, no, also for yeah, this script. So we only have loot ID, loot rule, right? And loot rule is equal to item get max quality. So is this going to I think I understand what this is doing. But then it means he didn't parse it. Loot ID. This is very strange. I think we have to debug it, guys. I don't know why it's failing, but basically it's not working as expected. I changed it. I changed it also in progression events in DummyDB, no? Treasure chest, random loot. Yes. I just don't have the loot quality that I removed. Like that's the only difference. I removed loot quality, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's a problem. No more Google Summer of Code. Google Summer of Code was very nice, but at a certain point they said that they would not accept video games anymore. I think it still exists, no? Does it still exist or no? But already long time ago, I asked and they said that, yeah, they still have it. They were not accepting video games. Which I don't know if it's completely true, but... So it's more, you know, scientific stuff than video games. I think there were too many video games. Okay, I think we are here. I think we are loading our node in debug mode now. Probably. Or not. Let me see what this is coming from. It's preloading all the scripts. Treasure chest 2. No, this one we don't care. Treasure chest 2 we don't care. We care about... what the... Yes, we care about this one. Treasure chest, random loot. Okay. We are loading our guy. Right? So our string ID is actually loot rule. And here I'm trying to parse into my array the thingy. Oops. And no, that is not a good idea. Because now we have one element in the array, but okay, let me see. One ID. Ah, okay, it's trying to change it to yes, yes. What do you mean it's different than 0? It is 0. Huh? You crazy? No, in fact, it's not adding anything. Okay, good, good. So our loot ID is empty, right? So loot ID equal to 0. So we are not... So we are parsing... Yes, we are parsing the loot rule expression. And the loot rule expression becomes a real expression with loot rule environment, required objects, and all of that. So I would say up to here, everything seems to be okay. But I don't know if the let but anyway, everything seems to be okay at the moment. If loot ID is different than 0 or loot rule is valid, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this basically runs. Now, here is another one, but I don't think we care. And here is another one, but also I don't think that we care. Exactly. So the creation seems to be correct. Now the run seems not to be correct for whatever reason. So the run will happen when? Will happen when I open the treasure chest, right? Yes. The run will happen only when I open the treasure chest. But my loot rule is actually valid. Is my loot quality expression that is invalid, right? Because I don't have a loot quality. So this one is actually empty. Ah, okay, 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 okay. So that's what happens. So 63 is the loot quality. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes, sorry, I know exactly the problem now. You could get it to the commission artist to create an NPC for the temple as they appear on the sketches. But they will not go into the game that way, Sulfats. That's the problem. Hello, YouTube! More YouTube people. Today we're having more people. Very nice. 13 people on YouTube, 7 people on Twitch. Hello everyone. If you want to say hi in the chat, would be appreciated. If not, no problem. That's fine if you lurk. Okay, so I think that the issue we have is this one, right? That this expression is actually not evaluating because it is empty. And I think in our case makes sense. Now, the only thing that I don't understand is why are we even doing this now inside loot set OP, right? I think that this thing we can basically kill it. Or anyway, I would do this only if loot quality, only if loot quality expression is actually valid, right? Because otherwise we incur into that issue. And this is not workable anymore. And our loot entry is based only purely on this, right? That is our loot entry. So I think this will work. The problem is here. No, this is fine. And then he's saying, if we have a loot entry, do loot entry create multiple loot? But I don't understand this loot quality added at the end, because in our case will be empty, right? So if I go inside create multiple loot and I have a loot quality, right? And I have a loot quality. Where is this loot quality used? If you want only a certain entry, max items. I think it is used by something else, but not by our... So we will basically never enter here. Loot quality influences the randomization chance. Now I'm scared that we touched something that we should not have touched, because I feel that this is probably going to be called by multiple people. Yeah, but it's silently passing a loot quality of 0.5, right? This is what it's doing. It's silently passing a loot quality. You see that is a default parameter here of 0.5. So in reality, yeah, it's always passed as a default. It's always passed as a default. So I think we can probably do the same then. Except here. Where I see a target interactable get loot quality. Target interactive. Yeah, this one was done for the dungeon, for sure. But this needs to be scaled from 0 to 1. Yeah, but I think I did it that way. So we have to. So if we don't specify a loot quality, the loot quality should go. So actually, I did a mistake. I did a mistake here when I deleted that stuff, because the fact that loot quality needs to be divided by 10 is actually a thing. This thing is actually a thing. This thing is actually a thing. Yeah. This thing is actually a thing, because we want to have the loot quality input from 1 to 10, but then we scale it internally 0 to 1. But I would say that if the loot quality is not there, we silently so we just go loot quality equal to 0.5. And that's it. And then here everything should work as expected now. Now the only thing that I don't understand is this affecting also the normal loot? It is affecting all, because this loot quality, right? Is it affecting also? Loot quality influences the randomization chance. Zero 5 means as designed, so multiply by 1. Yeah. Okay, I see. So in reality, with 0.5 we are not changing anything, so the probability stays the same. But if we modify, yeah, okay, if we change the loot quality, it's actually having an impact. Okay, I understand. I understand. Perhaps a new program for the AI. Like you want to hire some AI. I mean, there are websites that allows you to build a company with AI employees, right? I don't know if you have seen it, but there are quite a number these days. Build a company with AI employees, right? And there are websites that allow you to do it. like this, I don't know, Sintra, yeah, whatever, or this Lovable, or this. So hire an AI team for less than $1 per day, right? So you basically say, oh, do I need, this is just one, but there are a million, right? Base 44, start up with AI agent, right? So you say, oh, I need a financial guy, right? And then I need an accountant, I need an engineer, I need whatever, a secretary that is just a receptionist, let's say. I need a receptionist, I need it, right? And it's basically creating profiles of AI employees, and then you can give them some jobs, right? In the same way that you would just speak with AI, the only difference is that they are different agents. So they work by themselves. I mean, they have specific tasks. You can task them specifically, right? Based on their knowledge. I know it's a bit weird, but that's what it is. You asked to Claude right now. What did you ask? You ask if there is a program to pay AI to do a campus in the summer. I don't think so. I think the answer is no. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Sorry, I was just checking some messages because I was just cleaning up the list. Yeah, but I think for the mega grant we can apply again, right? I think my main job would be to okay, so if we open this one, now it worked. We got the battle axe of steel, and if I open this one, I just have to unlock it, I guess. Yeah, I'm unlocking it with the GM capabilities, but we got a torn battle axe. Okay, so it works. Basically, the system works, right? So we have the possibility to configure the loot ID directly. This is very nice. Now, should we test if the normal stuff works? Like for example this. I didn't find anything. So let me cheat a second. I don't want to. Ouch! Immediately punished. Immediately punished. Yeah, this for example works, right? Because I received one iron ore. I received a potion of healing and 25 tria, so it kind of works actually. Why there are two, one on top of each other? That's pretty strange. Weird. That should have never happened in theory. Yeah, but so this one seems to work fine. Maybe the other thing that we should check is if the monster loot works. Nah, but it's the same thing. So if it works for this, it works also for the monster, I would say. Fancy box. Creative Europe Media Financement delle per le progetti creativi e culturali. Nice. So we can search more funding. Hula also from Europe. But maybe they like to finance, you know, European projects. We are, even if it's not really true because I'm Italian, but the project is registered in the US, the company is registered in the US. So they will see it as a US company. Understand? Okay. So I think that everything works, my boys. What do we want to do? We want to, okay, so the code is okay, the script is okay. The only thing that we need to remember is when we put it in production is to execute this, right? And then we have to regenerate the dungeons, otherwise they will have the wrong loot. They will point to the wrong loot, right? Yes, but that's easy, we can do it. The second thing, that is the important one, is to decide which loot should go into which dungeon and actually create a loot rule for each, right? So at the moment we have the 2 procedural dungeon. I can show it to you, it's fine, also because I'm gonna change it now. Also because I'm gonna change it now. 102. Wait, no, I should not do it this way. I should do it this way. So we have 101 and 102, okay? So these are the dungeon tables, right? The loot tables. We're going to change right now. So these are not valid anymore, right? So so the dungeon with the lower quality loot was generating, oh, still the compass, okay, they should be deleted, but anyway, the leather gloves, the leather boots with randomization, and then the flanged mace with randomization for whatever reason. Here we were randomizing the gloves and the boots of the spider silk, and we were randomizing the gloves, the boots, the gloves, the boots also of these ones, right? Plus the flanged mace. So now the question is, how do we rework all of this? Well, the first question is how many dungeons we have active at the moment, right? I think I added 4 dungeons, correct? 1 in the desert, 1 in the middle of nowhere, 1 in Ilondonari, and 1 in Oja Road. So we added 4 dungeons, if I remember right. Yes. Do you work in game dev as a day job? No, but I work in a software company. But a software company that does software for enterprises. So let's say, I mean, is like enterprise software. It's not is not entertainment software in any way, right? And anyway, my job, I'm not programming. I'm a manager, and so I'm just managing stuff. So it's more of a It's less of a technical job. It's more of a process and improvements and things like that kind of job. But I like it, even if Ulla says no. But I like it. I asked if she give me answer. I have explained, but Italian government can give it too, but for a commercial product. Yeah, but Hula, you should also say that the company is American, because like the Italian government, I think will never finance an American company, right? So they would give it for Italian. Do they use C++? Yes, I mean all enterprise companies pretty much use C++. I think there are basically no, I mean, I don't know, maybe only the one that do mobile, but okay, so now we need to decide. Now we need to decide which of these items, well, including also the ones that we are spawning already, right? Because we are spawning already the flunged mace. We are spawning already. Can I copy this in a way that I'm not going crazy? No. Probably not. I have to copy it manually. That's the only way. Brigandine gloves, brigandine boots, chainmail gloves, Ned, I don't know, Ned, if you are here, but I think I need your help here. Because we need to decide, right? So these are the ones that are currently spawned by the two dungeons that by the dungeons that we have, right? But in a flat way. So all of them are pretty much generating the same. What we have the ability now, we can create specific loot tables for each dungeon, right? Every dungeon can have its own special things, right? And so we have to decide we have to decide if the dungeon is giving any of this. For example, we have 4 dungeons. So we could have one dungeon do the gloves and one dungeon do the boots, or no? Or one dungeon do the spider silk and one dungeon do the brigantine and the chainmail. I think that these two are pretty much the same, by the way. They are similar quality. If I take the chainmail, wait, no, it's the wrong place. What? No, because there is the dummy database. Shit. There is dummy. What happened? I fell down? I fell down by opening the item window? Interesting. Oh, it didn't reload. Okay. Anyway, that's a bug. But anyway, it's only for GMs, I guess. It's a GM bug. It's very strange, right? Huh. Changing gravity actually fixed it. Okay, anyway. Very weird. Very strange. Okay. I guess that Ned is not here, eh? Pity. So I think I'm positive on the on the Stonehammer Shield, on the Great Axe, right? So I think we can have one dungeon that is now. The only question is which dungeon? Which dungeon? Which dungeon? Which dungeon? So at the moment we have one dungeon here, one dungeon here, one dungeon here, one dungeon here. These are the four. These are the four that can spawn randomized stuff. Plus we have the random chest, right? That I think that we will have to somehow convert. Those random chests are they are not using this. They are using specific consume scripts that I don't remember how it's called, but I think that they are yes, this one, treasure chest. There is the mega script that is associated to those chests, right? Which I think we should also change, by the way. And these chests are all these ones. All these ones. And if I do a select, if I do a select, if I do lock sector ID from item instances where item stats ID in this list, in this list. What? Ah, because these are the ones that people have in their inventory. And lock sector ID is not null. Okay. Now there seems to be multiple ones. It seems that we have a problem of duplicated chest. Let me execute the same query in production and see what happens. Holy shit. I don't understand why we get this chest duplicated. I don't get it. Why we get this chest duplicated all the time? Why? Can we fix that? I mean, it's not reasonable that we get... Let me try to do... Why we get this spawn chest multiplied so much? I don't understand. I don't understand what is the freaking problem. But like, for example, in Amnedare, we have a bunch in the same place, right? Why? Well, they're not exactly in the same place. Let me see. Jeez, when I cannot type, it's so annoying. Teleport failed. Oh. No. What do you mean? 338552. What? In theory the chest should be here, but they are not here. Are they in a different instance? Could be. I mean, I don't think so, but let's try. Oh wow, they are. Well, no, wait. Instance 25. Yes, they are. Instance 25, but this will never be loaded though. I think these items are leftovers. I don't understand why there are some. You know what I have to do that I never did, but I will start now, even if I should have started 10 years ago or 20, to have a freaking file with all the useful queries, right? Did I do that already or not? Let me see. Maybe I did and I forgot. So because sometimes I do some queries, you know, that are very powerful, and then I just delete them, and every time I'm reinventing the wheel, right? But can we have one file? can we have one file with, it should be under scripts, right? It should be under scripts and it should be called like useful queries or something. Let me see if I have it already and I just forgot about it. No? I didn't, huh? I'm going to create it now. I recall that I actually had that, but I don't know if it was probably only in the old game and not in the new one, so maybe there's something in the old source code. Let me see. Because I'm reinventing the wheel every time with these queries, right? No, I don't have it. Okay, we're gonna create it now. We're going to create it now. I mean, it's a bit weird that I don't have it, so I think that in theory I do, but I don't remember where is it. But it should be under scripts, 100%. Let me just see all the SQL. If there is any SQL that is actually with a decent name. No. Okay, we don't have it. We're going to create it now. And it will be called useful queries .sql. And it will be added to source control. So then next time we have it. Right? And this one, for example, is, you know, check all treasure chests in all sectors, right? And this is the query. Right. I have a massive deja vu. So I think I created it, but then, I don't know, I forgot where it is or whatever. So, so the result of this query is actually a bunch of objects. Some of them are floating and they are not in sector 0. A bunch of others are in sector 0. A bunch are inside guild houses, but we don't really care. And actually a freaking million are in the lava cave, right? That is probably the one that I changed the other day, but I don't understand why. I don't understand why this is not working, right? So what he's saying is that here, yes, there are a trillion chests. Why we have all these trillion chests here? Why? Is it because the sector ID is wrong in the original drop, and so is not finding in that position? So the sector is lava cave, right? And the lava cave sector is 84, right? And the lava cave sector is 84, right? So that particular spawn location That particular spawn location is under hunt locations. Yes. And under hunt locations, we are searching where the sector is equal to lava cave. Ah, okay. Wait, let me print out also the item ID. The item ID will be ist dot ist. This is exactly a reason why I should have that file, you know, because now I'm again reinventing the wheel while, okay, copy column name, paste, okay. So this is the actual updated query. Oh, why it looks so stupid? Because it's cut off. Okay, well, fine. Okay, so that item, this one, all these you see all these treasure chests one on top of each other. This is happening because for whatever reason the code that checks does not identify there is already one there, and it is regenerating another one, right? Which is very weird. And I'm trying to understand why this happens because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. 7083, right? 7083 is the thingy. So item ID equal to 7083. The sector is correct. The sector is 84. Sector 84, amount 1. We have a range 0. I don't know if that is actually going to do anything. We need to fix this because we cannot spawn like 50 chests, right? Do you think it's the range 0 that is messing up? Because in theory the code is very simple. The code is searching for when he's creating a new item, right? So there is a create item. There is create schedule item, right? Schedule item, create item, right? So what this thing is doing, probably before this, because this one is just creating it, right? This one is just creating it. This one is just creating it, but there is there is a bit of a problem. I don't understand why it's generating more than one, right? Let me try 1 second dummy database, because I don't understand what I'm looking at. I don't understand what I'm looking at. So if we go dummy database 1 second, right? And in my dummy, I do spawn on location true, right? Spawn on location true, and repopulate item true, right? So this will do, and then we have to check, obviously, in our dummy database where we have the ant location, right? Where we have at least 1 or 2 to test, right? Yeah, exactly. So, and we have also the one with the chest. Yeah, exactly. So well, the only problem is that they are in places where we don't have ground. We have them in places where we don't have ground. So we will have to generate a dummy one in whatever decent location, because these locations I think are the actual locations, but in the dummy database usually I never want to generate them in the real place. I want to generate it yeah, exactly. Wow, it's so dark in here. Why? By the way, there is no chest here. There is no chest. Interesting. I think there was a test, probably, that I did. Okay, that's the one underwater. Chest is there. This one I don't have the map, probably. Okay, let's do this. 7091. 7091. Yeah, it's the purse. Is the purse? No. I think I want like 85. Yeah, like this one. Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate this. Let's give it whatever number 3, but then we will use a default location, like a very simple location, like the middle of the plaza, right? Like the middle of the plaza. Para pa para pam pam pam. I don't know. Here will be the location, okay? So the location is that number. So we just add a dummy location, 201 725 minus whatever 316 031 Z 10187. Okay, the interval is in milliseconds. I think we can put it just so that is a bit short. So let's say There is at the moment what 15. This is in milliseconds. So it is already super small, right? Because it's 15 seconds plus 10 seconds. Okay. So it's already done. And the sector will be 15. And the amount will be 1. And the lock, okay, we don't care, but it's fine. Okay. Okay, so what I want to see, right? What I want to see is that now 1087 I think is a bit high. So 10,119. 10, let's say 120. Okay. 10,120. Okay. So if now we restart our server and our client with that dummy thing, I want to understand if every time I restart the server, if I'm generating a new chest, because I think that's the only explanation of why we have a million chests in the same place. I don't see any other explanation. I've searched a lot and learned a lot about American system of charity. Perhaps you have some way, but it's a work in itself. Yeah, I imagine, Hula. Getting money is always hard. Getting money is always hard. Okay, we go back to the plaza for a second. And in the plaza we want to see oh, it's there already. Why I'm lagging like a boss on my own machine? Okay, it's here, right? So this is the chest. This is the chest that we generated, right? This is the chest that we generated. Now this one will be saved in the database as soon as it's generated. So this is a permanent item, I assume, right? So if I do /info, this one as item ID 15801, right? So if I go in the database and I search dummy database, and I search item instances 18 whatever 15801, 15801, right? Yes, my item has been written to the database already. So now the question is, if I restart the server, which doesn't happen very often in production, right? It does not. But still, when I restart the server, it should not generate a new one in the same place. Otherwise, every time we have a restart, we generate a new chest, right? Which doesn't make any sense. So it should search if there is not already a chest in place. And I think it doesn't do it. I think it doesn't do it at the moment. I think at the moment it's just instantly spawning the chest no matter what. So I think we will find 2 chests now. Now, how do we know if they are exactly one on top of each other? Well, we search for 02. Actually, it didn't. But wait, we have to wait 30 seconds because it's randomized, right? Yeah, let's wait 30 seconds. because every 30 seconds is generating one, and then is generating another only when this one is picked up, right? So there is kind of a smart function that considers that. It didn't do it, huh? I was expecting it to generate it, but it's not generating it. It's not generating it. That is kind of strange. It's not generating it. Which is very strange because create item. So let me read the code. Create ant location. Save the ant location for later queries, blah blah blah. Ah, here it is. Look for nearby items to prevent rescheduling of an existing item. Find nearby item, range. Here it is. Yes, it's the range. Because the range is 0. If the range is 0 and that is falling down a bit, yeah. So, and the range is decided by what? By this. But why we even have a range from? Why are we even using? Yeah, that's the problem. 100%. 100%, that's the problem. 100%. Yeah, it's reading range from the database. But why the hell? I mean... why we are using range to spawn an item? Because we want to spawn it in an area, but it's a very bad idea because there can be a tree or something, right? So is this range really used to spawn? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So basically the reasoning... range. Random position within range. We remove 5 centimeters to avoid precision issue on the board. Okay, I think we can fix it. Okay, let me just check though. So, okay, I think I understand exactly the problem. I understand exactly the problem. And the problem is that this range is 0. But it's good that it's 0 in reality, because we want it to spawn precisely, right? But the problem is, how do we search for nearby items? And I think that our search for nearby items should never be range multiplied by 100, but it should be, I think we should have a float search range, right? We should have a search range, which is minimum Huh? What the fuck? Minimum between the minimum between what do we go? We go alpha meter or we go 30 cent? I think we go alpha meter. I think we go alpha meter. Between 50 and range by 100, right? So that doesn't happen anymore. This doesn't. So now, so this is going to fix it. Do I need to declare if this is a float or no? Do I need to do something stupid like float or do you do it automatically? Oh. I don't know, I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. So basically we are placing the item at 0, but we are searching it with a certain with alpha meter radius minimum, so that if the terrain, like in the case of the lava cave, is not perfectly flat, right, you don't get 100 chests, right? Why we do this sometimes? Okay, I think it is good. I think this is a good fix. I think this is a good fix. Yeah, I don't know. It's not because the map is. Anyway, let me just leave it as that. Okay, so this is a very good fix. This is a very good fix. So, actually here, since there is completely flat terrain, you know, and there is no precision whatsoever at the. There is only one chest, right? But if I move it, right? If I move it, and we wait 30 seconds, it will respawn again, right? But if I move it by alpha meter now, it will not, right? So that's basically the point. Well, if I restart the server though, yeah, if I restart the server, it will respawn again. Okay, we can try just for sake of. That is without the patch. That is without a patch. So another chest will appear because this also has range. Yeah, exactly, right? But now you see that it appeared nearly instantly. But if I move this chest by less than half a meter, okay, and we can destroy this one, it's not a problem. Less than half a meter, and I patch the server. He will not respawn again, right? So we fixed. Yeah, this problem was really bothering me since quite some time because I have seen multiple chests spawning randomly and but we didn't have this fix in, so now we do the minimum between 50 and the range multiplied by 100, so that would be always 50, I guess, because they are all 0, unless you really have a range and you are trying to spawn at range, and that's fine. I mean, obviously this radius is in oh fuck, it was here already. What? It was in the function inside. Look at this. If radius is less than 50, radius equal 50. What? Why it's not working then? I had this already. So you mean that the spawn point... We had this already, my boys. Fuck. It was just in the calling function. No! So I had this reasoning done already. Fuck it. Fuck it. So it's not failing for this, it's failing for something else. So it's failing for something else. No. No. It's failing for something else. I have to go soon though. It's failing for something else. It's impossible. Well, I mean, if the spawn point is too high, maybe. If the spawn point is too high. Nah, that was good already, my boys. That was good already. That was good already. Fuck, not this one. It's one of those. I don't know which one. So you're saying that since the spawn point is higher, $18,877, yeah, exactly. The spawn point is fairly high actually. Okay, can be that. Can be that. So in reality, here there is another. Here the issue is the spawn point. That it should be 18,807. About half a meter down. You know what? Exactly half a meter. It's kind of funny, huh? Okay, we're gonna do this. We're going to do this. Because I remember that I fixed that already, but it never. Okay, let me execute this in production. Okay, done. So, I mean, here there are a million items, one on top of each other, right? I'm going to delete. Okay, I think now it's probably only one. Maybe. Now it's probably only one. Yeah, the problem was that the spawn point was too high, and so the chest was spawned flying, and then was falling down, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe half a meter is not enough. We should do 1 meter to catch, hello flying thingy. How are you today? Can I speak with you? Hi. Fuck, it doesn't answer. Pity. Should have said at least buzz something. Okay. So I think that this one is fixed. I mean, it's fixed because this spawn is fixed. But what I wanted to say is, if I execute this particular query, and I look at the result, right? In the lava cave, there are 3 chests, and we know exactly these 2 because we just tested them, right? But then there is another one, there is this one. Okay, this one is good. 211 minus. Okay. So this works as expected. The problem again is that these are 3 chests that are in different places, and they are providing exactly the same loot, which is kind of ridiculous, right? And one, I think, is inside a cave room. Actually, I think that this one of these sectors is wrong. I don't know which one. Probably this one. Pa pa para pa pa para para pa 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 pam pa para pa. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why it's not rotated right. Fuck. Anyway. We don't have the rotation here. No, we don't have the rotation, that's why. So I don't know if I want. Yeah, I mean, fine. 77. Huh. For example, this one is 0. Wait. Yes, because he's not in that range. 76. But for example, this one 76. What is 76? It's kind of annoying. The sector thingy is annoying. 76 is BD Road Cave 2. Is missing? In theory there are 2 in 76, but it seems that they are not there. Why? It is here. So my query is wrong or what? $71. That is 7081. Yes, my query is wrong. Fuck. My query is wrong. It's not getting all the items because this one is called crate and not chest. So the yep. So it is wrong actually. My query is wrong. The right query would be where item stats, where consume script like treasure. Right. That is the right set. Now, okay. Is including also the Arcana. And maybe the Arcana we don't want it. But this is the proper set. Wait, Codex was doing this for me. Huh? No? Bro, please. Hello? The app doesn't... Nothing works anymore. Okay. GG. I cannot search anymore. Why I cannot search anymore? Come on. Don't be annoying. Okay, ChatGPT. It doesn't find it. I don't know why. I mean, it's like... It doesn't find. Okay. This is the proper set. This is the proper set. So actually the right query is this one. Wow, 120, 147. Well, excluding, I think we should exclude the guild houses, right? Because people have this chest in their guild houses. I don't know exactly why, but they do have them. Probably they were provided as a furniture in the past. But anyway, we don't care about it. But for example, we care more about this. Yeah, there's a lot of cleanup, guys. There's a lot of cleanup. But the code is correct, actually. Uh-oh. Wow. This one is generated underground. Why? Am I stuck underground? There is a chest below this. You believe it? Yes. There is a chest below that. Why? I think the reason is that the coordinates are wrong. Simply. Yeah. Yeah. Coordinate is completely fucked. 12393. 12. Eight hundred 040 minus 710 559. Yeah, exactly this. So this is 7082 67. 7082 67. Twenty-one 271. What? No, it's impossible. No, it's not this one. No, it's this one. Yeah, exactly. It's this one. Well, not even though, because the coordinate are slightly fucked. I think there are two. Huh? Anyway, this one, the coordinates is wrong, so this one needs to be fixed. This one needs to be fixed. This one should be 12,393. Which is actually very similar though. You mean it's been generated wrong once and then it generated there and is within alpha meter and so is not regenerating? Could be. I mean, we have no way to prove it than to delete it or just to move it up. But in theory, it should be 2 of them. Ah, there is another one there. Cannot click it. Ah, I clicked it. Fuck. Okay. So maybe it was alpha meter below, and so the algorithm was saying, yep, it's already there, and it was not generating a new one, but no one could reach it, and so let me just see. There should be a second one, right? But the second one is there, and I think yeah, the second one is there. I think people can reach it, so I think that's not a problem. Did you ever loot this thing in your life? Because it's here, it's lootable. No, sorry, that is me. This thing is lootable. Did any of you ever looted that? There are 2 lootable here. Now that one is a bit hidden, maybe no one ever clicked on it, I don't know. And he's inside. It's a bit of a middle of nowhere, I know. It is. But okay, but I think that one we fixed it just by moving it up, and hopefully the next time it will respawn up, because the respawn point seems to be okay. Yeah, seems actually to be okay, but maybe there was one that was there since ages and no one ever, you know, considered it. Now, let me see 1 second. So for example, right? For example, this one. Now we need to clean this up, because if we have the loot chest not spawning properly, right? Even if I redistribute the loot, it's not gonna work. Okay, this one is actually here. I don't know if anyone ever went here, but it's there. And there is only one actually. It seems to be correct. 15664 336. This one, yes. But there seems to be another one here, which is very, very, very close. There is not working for whatever reason. It may also be underground. Oh wow. Where are we? What the? So there is a chest underground here. There is, by the way, is it an official spawn location or not? 18. No, it's not. So someone dropped it there, or is hiding it there for whatever reason. Ah no, it's here. Wait. 18. No, 18. There is only one. That is the one that we saw before. Yeah, exactly. 18. No, that is I don't know what is it. There is a chest that should not exist. That someone moved into the wall, right? Or he moved down there. No. Holy moly, that rogue. Hiding. But I don't see the chest actually, but in theory he's here. Maybe he's underground. I don't see it. But in theory he's here. What is that guy doing there? No, I don't see the chest. Or is really... Because vertically is... Is here... Is here 8 meters below. Is exactly here 8 meters below. Like in this thing. But you cannot even go. Why that guy is there? In a place that you cannot even reach it. Sounds like a bad idea, no? Hello, man. What are you doing here all alone? Ah, you can go from here. No, not even. It's all blocked. So there is a rogue that you cannot reach, pretty much. I think we should move it. I mean, it was in a cool place. Hi. It's not speaking. It was actually kind of in a cool place. Well, actually, you can reach it. Okay, well, if you can reach it by crouching, I think I'm fine. Yeah, you can reach it. I don't know, that other thingy in theory is here, but it's not here, so... It's a bit strange. Or it's inside this building and we don't see it. I don't know. I'm getting sleepy. Nah, I don't see it. I don't know, maybe he's not spawning because he's not finding ground, but he's not an official spawn, so I guess that we don't care about it. Should we delete it? Probably yes, actually. Probably yes. I don't think anyone is using that, also because it's unreachable. Deleted. Is there no more? There are a bunch of these items in instance 50, right? In instance 50, and I don't understand if it's a decoration that someone did back in the days or what, but I think maybe Widget was using 50 and 25 for something, but I don't know. I can ask him. I can ask him. I think I'm going to sleep. Ouais. Were you using instance 25 and 50 for something? I see a number. I see a number of loot chests in those instances. Okay, I will ask him. Let's see what he's saying. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go. It's 1:10 anyway, so I think I will see you tomorrow evening, though, because tomorrow evening I don't know yet. I didn't get messages from my friends about tomorrow. I will check with them. We need to check if this guy. Okay, guys, so thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Probably tomorrow evening if all goes well. Otherwise, I will see you on Saturday. Consider it on Sunday, then I'm leaving. But I think I may stream maybe in the afternoon, and then I can go on Sunday. So we still have a chance to see each other 1 or 2 times, and then there will be a break for summer holidays. Okay. So thank you for watching. If you want to click follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that's always appreciated. Thank you. And if you want to download our game, you can download it from our website or from Steam. It's also available in Steam. Yup. See you. Bye bye.